Hello and welcome to battle number 75 of Battle with the Beasts. This is the last battle, round 5. I'm your host Adam Ferns, and the two beasts fighting for the final spot of the top 3 is Carnivora the Winged Scavenger versus Torpix the Twisted Serpent. I'm recording this an hour or so after my last Battle of the Beasts episode, and I have a good idea of what I think the next beast to make it through will be. So yeah, let's get into this. Okay, the larger beast by far is Torpix, and Carnivora's round 1 victim was Brutus, round 2 Vespic, round 3 was Hawkeye, and round 4 was Noctilla. Torpix's round 1 opponent was Skuric, round 2 was Tagus, round 3 was Madara, and round 4 was Balisk. So, a good amount of beasts they each killed. The weakest out of all of them is definitely Tagus. On the strongest one that Torpix killed on his side was probably Balisk. The weakest was Tagus. Carnivora's side, the weakest one she killed was probably I would normally take into account what round it was in, but I need to take into account the beast's abilities as well. And for that reason, I'm probably going to say her weakest opponent was Vespic, and her strongest was Noctilla. So yeah, let's think. Okay, and if Torpix gets eliminated, Series 9 is eliminated from this tournament entirely. If Carnivora gets eliminated, then nothing changes. Just one beast from Series 7 remains in the top 3. So yeah, let's get into this. The battle would take place on a I'm thinking of a Central Plains kind of area. I can't really think of an arena, so for that reason I'm going to go with the battlefield arena that was in Mortax the Skeleton Warrior, also known as completely barren, nothing there, just a big stadium with just a dirt arena there, nothing else. So let's get into this. As both beasts exit from the chambers, Torpix taking the front door, Carnivora taking the sky door. They instantly see each other, and Carnivora charges straight towards Torpix, but instead of going straight for him now, she instead goes to the left of him and slices at his side, which cuts a gash into Torpix. Torpix reels hisses in pain and let's say reels back, coils around that spot. Carnivora, whilst having Torpix distracted with his cut, breathes out a heat breath going straight towards Torpix, which engulfs him in a heat wave, but it doesn't do anything. Torpix seems unaffected by it. So Carnivora swoops down and slashes at Torpix's other side, which Torpix saw coming and was able to dodge that, and was able to counter that with a hit of his tail, smacking Carnivora down to the ground. Carnivora lands on the ground, rolling over, but eventually regaining herself on her feet very quickly, charges back up to Torpix and goes to give another slice in. Torpix sees that coming and goes swinging his tail to trip Carnivora over. Carnivora sees that and jumps over it. Then Torpix goes to do it again, but seeing that Carnivora would jump this time, he raised it at the last second, knocking Carnivora to the side of the arena. Carnivora hits the arena wall, has a moment to regain herself, and charges back up towards Torpix again. Torpix slithers away to the other side of the arena and keeps slithering around to make Carnivora tired. Carnivora has enough of this and starts flying up and shoots a heat breath straight in front of Torpix, causing him to stop slithering where he is. He turns around to see Carnivora charging straight towards him in a beeline, let's say, and Torpix, realising that he's going to have to do something instead of just tire Carnivora out, shoots an acid jet straight towards Carnivora. Carnivora sees that and dodges it just in time before it actually hits her. Whilst Carnivora was distracted by that though, she fails to notice that Torpix's tail is coming straight towards her, hitting her, smacking her straight to the ground to the side of the arena again. Torpix slithers up to Carnivora, hisses directly at her, like very close to her. Carnivora lifts her head up and breathes a heat breath straight into her again, into him, burning Torpix's insides. He reels back in pain and hisses. I don't know, and hisses in intimidation. The intimidation fails though. Carnivore gets back up and goes to bite at Torpix this time, whilst Torpix swings his tail at her. Torpix swings his tail at her. Carnivore is able to dodge the tail and bite into it as well. Torpix feels the pain, draws his tail back, swinging Carnivore around at the same time, and starts swinging his tail around to try and make Carnivora lose her grip. It's not working, however, though. So what Torpix does, he holds Carnivora in front of him, tries to shake her loose as the last effort. Doesn't work. So Torpix just hisses intimidatingly, like with like a little bit of a smirk, let's say, and builds up acid in his throat and spits it out directly at Carnivora. Carnivora realises this and swings herself on top of Torpix's tail and runs along it whilst Torpix is shooting acid following up towards Carnivora. Carnivora, realising she won't be able to outrun that acid whilst running along Torpix, jumps off the tail onto Torpix's head and digging her claws into Torpix, scratching into his eyes and into his scales, biting into it as well. Torpix swings his head around to try and shake Carnivora loose, and realising it's not working, he does something which he hasn't done before in this tournament yet, and none of the other beasts has. Shoots acid directly up into the sky in one big spurt, bows his head down, and waits for it to land on his head. Because he won't be affected by the acid, Carnivora sees that and realises she has to work her way under Torpix. So she digs her claws into Torpix and gradually moves her way under Torpix whilst the acid starts pouring down. And she starts attacking the underside of Torpix's head. Torpix lifts his head up for Carnivora to get hit by some of the acid spot drops at the remaining bits coming down, hitting her wings, back and on her head as well, but nothing fatal. Torpix then brings his head down, smashing it into the ground with Carnivora underneath, smashing her against it, but not killing her, just making her dazed for a moment. Torpix wraps his tail around Carnivora's wings and hoists her up and starts smashing her against the ground multiple times over and over again. Basically, Torpix's turn to attack. When Carnivora seems to be knocked out, Torpix hisses in accomplishment, I guess, and builds up acid and spews it out onto one side of the arena. But before it lands, he chucks Carnivora going into that side of the arena, hitting the wall, breaking it, as the acid starts pouring down, dropping down, landing all over Carnivora, engulfing her in the acid, dissolving her completely. Torpix hisses in satisfaction and slithers back to his chamber, ready for the next battle. Carnivora has lost this battle, Torpix has won. And Torpix is in the top 3, whilst Carnivora just missed out. I'm actually really upset that I had to kill off Carnivora, but I saw no way she was going to win against Torpix. The Slayer of Vespic is dead. Anyway, if you think Carnivora should have won instead of Torpix, please leave in the comments down below why you think that. And with that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw or heard, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press that little notification bell down in the corner below. I see you for the next video, which will most likely be Battle of the Beast episode 76. The semi-final round, which will have Furno against either Crestor or Torpix. And I'll see you next time.